And we're live.
We're definitely live, yeah?
Yeah, we're definitely live, yeah.
Right,
We should have got Mandelson up. What are the chances of that? Tell you what, I can't not get down to this music.
We're actually going to be on time this week. I think this is the first.
Most people want to go.
Exactly 10 o'clock.
I'm doing the Wednesday dance again. You know.
The monster.
Need a better bumper to start train with.
I like how you think.
Coil is excellent, excellent quality and excellent material.
Those creases on the inside. Those creases on the inside of the coil.
Take it away, Hanky. That's what you call it. Huge transition.
The show's over. All right.
You also got a pre-tip for just what everyone was looking.
All right,
at.
thanks for joining us. See you later.
Yeah. We're gonna have to rejig them. They're actually the countdown's fucking annoying me. So. When's it go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0? It doesn't have to be 0. It's 1, then go. But anyway,
Craig and Kenny's is 10. And
it's an over-engineered countdown clip.
Well, I think if you're asking for feedback, that everyone's head should explode rather than them being an explosion and then their head's there.
Are you taking notes, Hanky? Take notes.
I did it to Pugs, but I felt sorry for him.
Have you got a pen?
I'll start giving me shit tonight.
Anyway, welcome to episode 8 of the Proper Live Show with our beautiful, fantastic special guests from the lovely land of Down Under. Legion Vapes and Woftam. Welcome, guys. As
Mate,
most of you in the chat know, there's a very, very good reason why we have the guys on. We're going to get into that in depth. Anyway, how he's keeping, how he's doing, how's everybody doing?
Mate, you can see just over my shoulder how Dawn is about to show her crack. So,
yeah.
6:30 in the morning. Bless you for coming
I heard
on.
Dawn's got a lovely crack.
That's 6:30 in the morning. That's dedication from the two boys. Dedication.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
mate, desperate times and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
we already cleared this, Woftam. You're an attention whore. You're desperate for affection. You just need your face on every show you can. You'll get up anytime anyone asks, just to get those likes. I'm no better. I'm no better.
Of attention from my first love.
Woftam will turn up to the opening of an envelope. 100%.
True that.
Well, as long as I don't
Mr. Steampugs.
I get on a Saturday show, but 5 a.m. on a friggin' Sunday morning is just a little bit too much effort.
Yeah, at least this is a little bit later. You get a bit of a lay in for this show. We're spoiling you.
Mr. Pugs, do you want to share that chat?
Yeah, well, we'll say hello to everyone before we do anything else. Okay. The usual suspects at the top of the list. We've got Rice. Good evening, my dear. Craig D. Craig D's in the house. Fee is in. Good evening, Fee. Freerider Vapor. Evening, buddy. We've got Graham Mabley. He's in. Hankypanky. Not
Cough. Cough.
Jim Mills is in. John Vaping Joker. We've got Just Josh with us. Katie Mason. Good evening, Katie. She's coming to the expo with us, and Scott's picking her up. I'm not sure that's safe, but anyway.
Definitely not safe. Definitely not.
I wouldn't ride with you. It's scary.
If he offers you a drink, Katie, don't take it.
Just bring a knife.
Yeah.
Trust me, Katie,
No one
I
more about being in
know.
a car with Scott.
I know.
Yeah.
That morning, Jesus Christ.
Just come armed. That's all I'm saying. Let's just see. Liquid is in. Good evening, sir. Mr. Intense. Sausage Simon 62 is in. Good evening, Squire. Mr. Scott Wood, the legend that is. Tyler the Vapor, Vape Bunny, hello dear. And Woftam. We already know he's there. So good evening, everybody.
Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
buddy.
Oh, not spoken to you for ages, Woftam.
It has been a while, mate.
Warthog's just.
I've been busy building, mate. I've been busy building.
Yeah, the kids still ask me, when's Simon staying again?
Yeah, well, who knows if that's going to happen, mate? You know,
I know. Fucking hell. Anyway, good evening, everybody in chat.
Good evening. Good
Very
evening.
much
Good evening.
joining us.
We will be doing the usual setup. There will be a little bit of a giveaway later on. There'll be 2 sets of proper coils given out at some stage.
Oh.
We'll do a number thing or something. I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Should we do a caption?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but yeah. If I don't have to do any, make any effort, I'm happy with that. You throw up the caption, and someone picks the guests pick the best caption. Yeah.
Hugs. I got a decent picture.
It's not going to be decent, is it, Anki?
It's
Is
decent.
it a picture of a very small person?
No, it's not. No, it's
Look
decent.
at me. Look at me in the background. Move your head.
What?
Just a twat.
I did put a competition up on Facebook. Anybody can recognise, say who's in the colours and everything, but it didn't work. But there it is anyway.
I
But
told you it's complicated.
right there.
The people who want free shit do not want to put in a lot of effort. So that's the problem. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at that picture, Hanky, and I'm thinking, geez, I want to reach out and give Nick a bit of a hi. How you doing?
I think Nick's feeling the same way.
He's very well endowed in the upper portion of his body.
Yes, he does have. He does have magnificent breath.
I do,
Some
yeah.
takeouts.
It's still perky as well. Still perky.
Yeah. Very pert.
I'm almost sure if you look close enough, there's some good nipple there as well.
No, it's not that. His knees
Must have been
are
a cold
sticking out.
day.
His knees are sticking out further than his package.
Yeah, what the fuck
That's
is
normal.
looks like he's got a golf ball down each fucking leg.
Right, I tell you what, we'll do the buffet and then we get stuck into what we're really here for. Yeah.
Then we'll get stuck into Stephen Woftam.
Yeah. So who wants to go first in the buffet?
Me.
Okay, then I'll go.
Hanky's
Oh,
right.
oh, I can't go first.
You can't go first.
You can't. No, because you're always last. Fucking hell. Right, I'm on my mod that always speaks to me, and it is Matt.
You're so fucking
Love
weird.
that. I never forget that. Never forget that. And I'm also on my, if it works, it does work. It's on the mini beeper. Been on that all day as well. Found a new coil. Absolutely brilliant.
Got an invisible screen.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Magic.
Yeah, I'm on mini beeper and I'm on a new Resalt Fruit Crush. Well, new to me anyway. I am on my all of my toppos, invisible ones as well. And in that I am on some repealed from Dispergo, and it is raspberry and grapefruit. And I'm on another one I got today, which is apple and berry, which is apple, strawberry, and blackcurrant. Beautiful. And I am on the new Oxford Pro Slim Pro.
I've got
the old one, and I'm also on the XWAS 2 with some other salts in there, which I am on some. Where is it? I'm on some fizzy cherry from Salt Horse. Brilliant. And that is me, and I'm going to pass it over to my best buddy. Go on, Matt.
Oh, right, what have we got? We've got a few little bits. We have got the Aspire Pug. What is it? He's not listening. Fuck him. I was written on it. The V-Rod 200.
Yes.
With the Fat Rabbit. And in that, we have got some, or the very last dregs of Solstice New Moon. I have to get some more of that.
Which one's that one?
Is that the cheesecake one?
The black currant elderflower.
I like that one.
Something. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's my favourite out of the range.
Pulsar was my favourite.
We've then got the Aldi mod, Lidl mod, whichever one you want to call it.
Little mods.
I'm still very much enjoying.
I love it. I think it's fucking ace, that.
Get one, mate. In all honesty,
like
Tank, it's a nice, relaxed, direct lung.
Yeah, kid friendly.
It's not Larry. It's just a nice, yeah, and it's like a Fisher Price toy.
Yeah, the kids love it.
Fisher Price toy. And in that, we've got some Cherry Good, Cherry Nice Urban, which I'm still very much enjoying. And we've got the Tech Division MX1 with the Flashy Vapor 4.5 on top.
That's a nice little setup. I like that.
On the side, kind of.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were made to go together.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, very nice.
And in that one, I haven't used it for a while, so I thought I'd dig it out. We have got some Bamskilicious Venom.
Never heard of it.
Which is rather pleasant. It is melony, I would say. Can't remember what the profile is, but it's definitely got some melon in it. It's juicy. And we've got the Hog V3 with the Valhalla 40mm with a pair of coils that are possibly maybe a little bit too low for it, but yeah. And in that, we've got some Serendipity Sweet Nirvana.
What are the ohm letters? Are you allowed to say?
No.
You don't have to say. It's fine.
Point something.
Right, go on.
We'll leave that alone. And we've got the Steam Crave Hadron Pro with the Ragnar on top. And in that one, we've got some Serendipity Irie Vibes. Then the last one we've got is the Trishul V2 with the Asgard Mini with a Viking cap.
Elbows out.
Elbows out.
Oot.
And in that, we got some Fruit Monster Strawberry Banana. And a Caliban, as always. And that's me.
Steve was like, I didn't take enough stuff with me.
I've got a desk now, so I can have all my shit. There's loads more behind me, but I'm not actually using that. I will pass it on to Steve, Mr. Legion.
Hey, I will not take too long because it has been a shit week, and I have been really freaking lazy. So I only have 3 devices. I have the Aspire Cyber X with some...
what do you think of that? I really like that. I've not got it yet. I'm open to get it.
It's not bad. I mean, Aspire, good flavor, good coils, all that sort of stuff. They interchange with all the other Cyber ones. This one's a good size, decent battery, and decent flavor. As far as I can tell, I've got some weird ass salt neck in there, so it's like a ton of cooling, a little bit of sweetness, and there's some flavor way in the background. I don't blame the device; I blame the juice. But it's a decent device. Gets me around when I'm heading out.
I like the look of it.
I do. I did the review of these, and the big thing that I said is like if you're a kid in the '90s and you like things that are extreme, then this will really suit you. The thing I've been grabbing mostly this week is this little setup. This is the it's getting old now. It's the Ursa, but I still love it. It's a pod mod setup, but I've got it set with the 510, so I can throw on the Fat Rabbit 3 sub-ohm. I've been going through a ton of juice with this week. This has been the main thing. The problem with this, I think I mentioned it the other day on one of my streams, is that the coils are made to perform. They are really good coils. Lots of cloud, lots of flavor, really dense. But I have that bad habit of running a tank right to the bottom, really riding that edge. one tiny dry hit, coil's fucked. That's it. There's no bringing it back. There's no second chances. I think we've all done that thing where you bring it down a little too far, you get that thing, and you're filling it up, hoping the coil's fine. Never. I've gone through 4 coils in the last week just because I keep fucking up. Again, it's me, but these are performance coils. So if you're going to use them, you've got to keep this thing filled. Speaking of which, yeah, it's due for a fill. In there, because we're with Woftam, the very last of my Woftam e-liquid. This is Mystery Fog. You guys all know this one. It's lovely juice, but I've only got that much left, and then I'm done. I'm out. No more Woftam, and the way things are looking, that may just be it for a lifetime. 1, 2, and the third one. This is the one I pick up for fun. This is the Health 200, which is not the ideal for this, but it takes 2 batteries and it gives me a lot of wattage. So it's small, so it does the job. On the top, I got the Asgard Mini with a Viking cap, and because it's a Viking cap, I threw some Viking coils in there. This is a powerful, tasty setup. You guys all know the Asgard Mini. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
In there, one of my all-time favorites, and I would never have expected it. I tried chocolate milk, chocolate shake, chocolate this, chocolate that. They were all shit. Every single chocolate I've ever tried was garbage until I tried this one, which is Licious Chocolate Eclair. One of those unfortunate casualties in the upcoming war in Australia, I think.
It is one of the best shoe pastries I've ever tasted.
Absolutely. You can taste every single layer separately. If you guys have all had a chocolate eclair, that crunchy, sort of smooth, weird feeling that the top chocolate has because it's kind of hard, that's there. Like every single level is there. It's an amazing e-liquid. Licious, I know he's in chat. It's an amazing product, and I think it's a crime that people put in so much time, effort, work, passion into these things just for the government to come and wipe them out. But I guess we'll talk about that later. Yeah. I should be passing it on to someone, and I'm gonna go for hey, Netreality, what you doing?
Great. Well, mine's very simple because I only vape one device at the moment, which is the Guar 21 with the Biology on top, which I've been vaping the same device now for over a year, and it's always been my main driver. But it's always a mic vape strip tip on top. And in that, I have juicer made this afternoon, and it's a quarter gone. And it's Black Hand, which is blackcurrant, raspberry, and Buddha's Hand. The VSO Buddha's Hand. I've actually fallen in love with that flavor.
So where did that name come from?
It's the actual name of the fruit. It actually looks like a hand.
No, Black Hand. How did you come up with that name?
Blackcurrant and hand.
Oh,
Nick is making a very deep answer.
He's gone to the Liam school of juice.
All right. Got the second best RTA in the world on top of Matt, the Danny Mini. 100% Danny Mini. That.
Turn it round.
Black vinyl on it. No, I can't do it. That'll do that. Vanilla Sky. The best RTA in the world on top of the D-Class V2. And in there,
why is the name of the best RTA in the world? Just because it's
30mm V2.
Volvo 25.
Yeah.
V2, yeah. V3. V3, yeah. Some Biscay in there. Biscay. A very not massive mod with a very massive tank on top. You
put a kit on it.
It's dead small. It's dead. In there, some Driggin Hustleberry, and I'm drinking Snake and Black.
Lovely.
Well, they went to the Graham School of naming beer.
Yeah. The Liam School.
Liam.
And I'll pass it over to Mr. Voltrove himself.
Mate, I guess that'd be me. I haven't got a lot here. Saga with a Voltrove with the mango in it. I got my favourite mod.
Ah,
Love that. I actually held
dirty.
that. I held that last year at the May
I've
Expo,
tried it. I've
and
vaped
it's
on that
still the
one.
best mod I've ever held in my
It's
hand.
fucking
ever.
gorgeous.
Yes,
Yeah.
just it's got looks, and the hit from it is fantastic.
Yes.
And it
And
just-
by the way, the guy Wolfgang, the guy that owns the company, really not very helpful at all.
Oh, okay.
Woftam,
And-
Woftam, can you hold it closer?
Yeah, mate.
Quick
It's
look.
a bit dirty right now, but hang on. We'll just get
That
some
is
focus
nice.
happening.
It's fucking gorgeous. Absolutely
Yeah.
stunning. My favorite all time mod.
It's got like the heavy
considerably
steampunk
lighter than the other Dead Man's Hand I've got, which is here.
Oh, just fuck off. Is that the brass seraphim?
Oh, that's nice.
That's
Yeah.
copper. That weighs close to 900 grams.
No, Jesus.
Yeah, they are really heavy.
It's quite a heavy little bugger. But the other one I'm cooking with is the Guar 21 with a Voltrove on top with coconut sponge in it.
Nice.
Something with the Guar 21s. I've had two of them come back to me in the last probably 3 weeks. Each one has had over 200,000 hits on it. So
Wow.
it's not like they haven't lasted, but the springs that hold the battery pins have become unspringy due to constant firing. So in both cases, the one was in an excavator. It kept hitting on the fire button, going on for 10 seconds, then hitting again, going on. And the springs have actually heated up to the point where they are no longer springing.
Compressed.
Yeah, and the batteries will just fall out. But on eBay,
Wow.
you can buy stainless steel springs for about $2, 15 mil long, 5 mil diameter, and they fix it perfectly. So you just take the bottom off.
That
put the
means
springs
that
in.
means me opening up things and doing things with it. I just bought 2 more, and they're still in the wrappers. So if this goes, I could get
Well,
the
you know,
out.
over here, we are going to have to learn to fix stuff.
Like a third world
So-
country.
It's going to be redneck vape.
It will be, mate. People are going to be vaping out of light bulbs. I can tell you right now. He's just sitting there with a crack pipe, mate, with liquid in it, having a vape.
Do you guys remember seeing a picture like years ago of someone with a battery and just a single piece of metal
Yeah, I've
wrapped
seen it.
around it? Yeah, that's literally where we're going. And the weirdest thing is that they're trying to save us, and every time they do, they just make things more and more dangerous in the long run. It's insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's my buffet. I'll pass on to John. You haven't gone yet, I don't think.
Yeah. I have my most recent purchase, the Hammer Time from SVB, little
Purchase,
DNA 60. It's
Flash, win.
nice.
They are
I,
lovely,
yeah,
aren't they?
I had a little win on a waffle. It was 30 quid, but it's not.
They
not
are
30 quid.
stunning little
Yeah,
mods.
they're nice. And top of that, the Tripod V2, which is very, very good. And in that, the last of my Sweet Nirvana from Serendipity and Wick Liquor. Next, I have the Purge Slam Piece, and top of that, the Asgard Mini, because that's one of the best RDAs ever made. And in that, I have some Australian e-liquid, which I might actually stop vaping and just like frame it and then maybe sell it in 10 years and make an absolute fortune. But some of Woftam's beautiful custom Malone, and also from an Australian man who likes Voltrove, the Voltrove 25. That thing is fucking amazing. I love it. I fucking love it. It's a coil builder's RTA for sure, because if you get the right coils in there, it things. That's sitting on the clutch, and in that, another beautiful man.
Aww.
Lovely Steampugs White Rabbit. Yeah, beautiful. And lastly, my little mouth along setup. So the K-Fun Light 24. On top of that, I've got a fucking, what the fuck do you call that thing? Vaporesso Gen S80, I think it's called. And in that, some Anise berry, which I'm slowly getting through. It's mixed to 16 milligram. And obviously I'm having a Guinness because every Irishman drinks Guinness. That's just the rule.
It's just
That head is horrendous. I apologise for that head. It's terrible.
It's just dawned on me I made a massive boo-boo because I absolutely caned through the bottle of custom Malone I had.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
It's gone.
Stay for every drop. And I will.
Well,
hand
mate,
that over
I
to-
mean, I've got to find another market other than Australia. So, well, mate, guys.
Folks, how many blowjobs do you want at Expo?
Well, mate, I've got to have some money to get over there, buddy. And well, mate, with income going to zero at some stage, then well, you know,
Get on your knees, pal.
yeah.
Yeah. That old chestnut.
Yeah, but Matt, you would have to go further than your knees, won't you? Pugs, no?
What, to get the pugs? I'd
Or
have
if
to
he
pretty much
stands on
lay
the
down.
chair. You know, he's
Yeah,
not
I'd have to
standing
pretty
on the
much
chair.
lay down, to be fair.
You'd have to do the worm.
You are
Yeah.
such-
I'd have to do the earthworm.
why am I getting all this short shit when I'm taller than Graham?
You're
Yeah,
not
but
taller than me.
Because when you say it to Graham, he doesn't react. When you say it to you, you go.
He does,
Oh,
doesn't he?
little man syndrome, isn't it?
And also, Graham doesn't wear stilettos.
What?
Oh,
Used
Pugs,
to.
make up for your shortness and show us your
Whoa.
massive. How's that?
All right. Okay, let's go for it. I got the Vicious at Night with the Arbiter. I think I don't know if it's the one or the two. In there, I've got my Pugs' Anal Seepage from the hilariously funny Graham. I've got the Elucia D with the GT4. In that, I've got Comfudge from the hilarious Graham. I've got the K65 with the Dram RTA. In that, I've got Nevans' Trifle, as always, the only thing that's ever in there. I've got the Noisy Cricket V2 with the best RTA in the world, the Voltro 25. And now I've got Nevans' Lemon Bar. What's that called? The Aspire Deco with, I can't remember what that tank's called. It's that Damascus. Is it the Eugene? I can't remember. It is anyway. And it's got nom noms. Have you seen how black that liquid is? That's a clear tank.
Damn, that's
Yeah, it's so fucking heavy in color. It's unbelievable. It's actually tasty. It's nice. I've got what else have I got? Oh yeah, I've got the Tripod V1 on another Noisy Cricket, and that I've got Nevans' Slimer. I'm sucking your dick tonight, Nevans. I've got the SX Mini V2 with the Voltrove LE on there, which was kindly given to me by Woftam. So it's kindly full of my custard Malone. I've got, what else have I got? I've got the My Dead Man's Hand Seraphim, the more rare than the Necronom, the Stab Wood. Thank you very much.
That's all.
With the I've got the Valkyrie 30mm on that. In that, I've now got my White Rabbit, actually.
If I come over, I'm stealing that, and then customs will seize it on the way back, and you'll never fucking see it again.
Did you
I'm
get
not
the
even-
issues fixed with that Pugs mod?
Yes, I have.
You
Yeah,
did,
it works out
yeah.
way of doing it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes, thanks to Wolfgang, who was absolutely no help whatsoever. The guy that owns it. I've got a big lipo thing with the MRN RDA on there, and in that I've got Canteen Deerbolt, which is still weird to me, Matt. It's
But
a
it's
strange
so
flavor.
good.
It's a very fucking strange flavor, and I still don't know if I like it.
What is it?
It's
It does say on it. I
Yeah,
can't
on it.
remember the notes.
yeah,
now.
it's fig, honeycomb, and mascarpone.
It's the fig that's the
The
strange.
fig is rich as fuck. It's
Yeah,
really
and
deep.
you got the mascarpone twang
Yeah, but I don't think it
sweetened off
goes
by the
with it.
honeycomb.
It's
Is
just
it-
off.
See, the thing
Is it like
I've
good.
tried fig flavors in the past, and all I get when I taste fig is ants.
I get tobacco without the smoke. If I have like fig or whatever, I get tobacco but no smoke.
No, it's not tobacco at all.
That is officially, I would say, probably my favourite juice of all time.
Oh, I got that because you said that, and I still got half the bottle because I still can't decide whether I actually like it or not. I really can't.
The other one, they do a raspberry one that's really nice as well.
I have also got the obviously the big Woftam's lipo with the Asgard on it. In that, it's always Serendipity Golden Sunset. It's the only thing I ever vape in there. And I've got loads of other shit, but that's the highlights. Thank you very much. Oh, and I'm drinking vodka, cherry Smirnoff with cream soda. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because adults don't like flavors. So there you go.
There you go. It's a weird thing, actually, Woftam. It's true because I've stopped drinking beer because I was getting too fat. I just was. I was drinking beer like getting through a lot of beer 3 times a week. I was getting more fat than I already was, and I couldn't afford to get more fat because I was fat enough. So I stopped drinking beer and started drinking vodka. But now I've noticed that I've started drinking vodka like I vape. So I've got a massive selection of vodkas in there, which are all different flavors, and it'll be a different flavored one every time I get a drink. It's weird, isn't it? How it's the same sort of thing, because when I vape, every time I take a hit on something, it's a different flavor. Because for me, flavor is always better off a cold coil, so I always pick up something new, and that's just the way I do it. And it's transferred.
A very good way of justifying alcoholism.
Thank you very much. I thought it was quite good.
I've got a mate actually who distills his own vodka and all that sort of stuff, and he gave me a bottle the other day, and I have Domingo Unchained vodka right now. Not right now, but in the freezer, I got Domingo Unchained vodka, mate, and oh, geez, it's good.
Good. Is it dirty? Is it dirty? But it's dirty as fuck.
Well, his vodka's I think about 48%. He didn't tell me exactly, but I can feel it.
Jesus, what's the average? Is what? Was it 30 or 40?
40? About 40, yeah. But
Speaking of
pretty.
juice, Woftam, that coconut sponge, what was the profile on that?
Coconuts and sponge.
I don't know when you have them over there, but over here we've got a sponge cake with desiccated coconut icing.
Yeah.
And like a cream with coconut in it. So it's a cake with basically.
How did you come up with the name for that then, Liam?
Oh, mate. Well, yeah, I just called it what it is, mate. I was going to come up with something.
No, Liam would call it coconut cake. Coconut cake.
Right, lads, we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna hand this over to Legion because just for the guys in chat that don't know what's happening in Australia, I'd like to hand it over to Legion just to explain what the fuck is happening in Australia.
We're doomed.
And then we will discuss.
Yeah, I'll happily take that baton and rant for another hour. For anyone who hasn't been paying attention in the entire world, Australia has gone down the toilet. Our health minister, our federal health minister, is a man by the name of Mr. Mark Butler. Now, I've looked into the guy, and he looks as clean as fuck. He looks like a genuinely nice, caring guy, which leads me to think that he's a little bit naive, he's a little bit uneducated, and that, unfortunately, I'm heading down the conspiracy road because I do believe statistics and facts and figures have been handed to him that support someone else's case, and he's just along for the ride. However, his platform that he announced last week is literally devastation for the vapers, the vaping industry in this country. Both sides are royally getting fucked. The plan is that sometime within, we think the next 6 months, they haven't given an absolute date, but it will be announced probably in the next week when the budget comes. There will be some major changes in the rules and regulations regarding vaping in this country. They plan on banning the personal importation scheme. That's been fairly clear. So the ability to order nicotine from overseas will be completely wiped out. Now, if you don't know Australia, that's our situation as it currently exists. We need a prescription, and you cannot sell nicotine in the country. You have to get it from overseas and bring it in unless you go to a pharmacy, of which there's only one pharmacy that sells it, of which it's a shit product, and it's a closed pod system. So we all get our nicotine from overseas. That's going to be wiped out completely. The only route will be the pharmacy route. He's also stated that he plans on extending pretty much all the regulations to everything. This is hardware, wire, batteries, wicking, tanks, coils, fucking tweezers. If they are labeled as a vape product, they're done. They're not going to exist. He's going to stop the import for resale or retail of all vape products that are not destined for a pharmacy. There's two prongs to this. One is that pretty much wipes out every single vape company in Australia in terms of the retail side of things. And as I said, there is only one company, only one product that is approved for sale in pharmacies. So the pharmacies won't be able to go, hey, let's bring in some anarchists. That seems popular. Let's bring in some geek vape coils. Those people want those. Pharmacies are not going to turn into vape stores. It's not moving the industry into the one corner of their store. There will be one, maybe down the line, 2 or 3 pod systems that are pre-filled with pretty shit flavors. The illegal sale of products in this country will continue unchanged because we have an issue here where it's kind of a long-winded build up to explain how this happened, but we've had an explosion over the last 2 years of black market products. They're brought in to satisfy a demand that the legal framework currently doesn't meet. And because of that, it has exploded. And because of ease of access and the fact that they're not taxed and all that sort of stuff has meant that they're available to youth. The youth epidemic has become a reality in this country because they made it a reality. The problem is all the laws that they're putting in don't address that at all. They don't penalize the black market in any way whatsoever. They penalize the existing legitimate industry. Now, I can tell you that I talk to and am friends with a lot of vendors in this country. They have spent the last 5-6 years doing every single thing they can to abide by the law, to be good citizens. We can't sell nicotine? Fine. We have to black out our windows now? Fine. Oh, you just changed the law and we have to put in $10,000 of new cabinets in every single store to hide everything? Fine. They age restrict voluntarily. That wasn't a legal thing for a long time, but they voluntarily self-regulated. They've done everything they can to abide by the rules, and now they're getting bent over for it. They're getting their entire livelihoods wiped away. There is a very, very lovely gentleman who lives in Western Australia who, just like the rest of us, quit with vaping. He then moved into DIY e-liquid. Some of his friends enjoyed it and said, hey, you should sell this. He said, I'll give it a go. I like flavors. I like helping people. He has since then, over the last 5 years, and he was one of the first reviews I ever did. He sent me a little package of liquids. It has grown from one guy making small liquids in his house to being one of the most major bottling and manufacturers in the country. He has just built a multi-million-dollar facility, proper clean room facilities, air filtration, bottling and labeling facility. Everything is there. He has not lasted long enough since building that to even pay that back. I'm pretty sure that's all up in financing, right? Any point in time, like between now and 6 months, that will be shut down immediately. You can't do that anymore. Our good friend Licious is invested his life and his heart into making this product. Boom, getting shut down. Woftam on the screen right now. Again, at a certain point, he switches from being a legitimate small grassroots businessman and artisan to being a criminal if he continues to do what he does.
Sorry, wait, you're wrong there because Woftam actually sells vegan flavors. Look, drink.
yes, absolutely. As far as the average vapor in the country is concerned, unfortunately, the prescription model that was always here but only began to be enforced about 2 years ago has been a failure. The majority of vapors have ignored it. Some of us have gone on board just because we want to protect ourselves. I'm a public figure, so I need to protect myself. But a lot of the average person has just gone, fuck it. Some of them are skirting the rules. Some of them have moved over to disposables, which again builds that black market up. But a lot of them are somewhat unaware of the rules and laws and regulations as they currently stand. They're the ones that are going to suffer the most because even now, not paying a lot of attention to what's going on, they're not aware that they should be stocking up. And one day they're just going to go online and go, oh, where'd my vape shop go? Where are my coils? Where's my e-liquid? I can't get it anymore. All of those all of those are then going to turn for an alternative. It's either go back to smoking or go to the black market. And we're going to see smoking numbers rise in this country again as all the gains that we have made from vaping over the last 10 years get rolled back. We're also going to see that black market just explode like you never believed, because
people are complaining about the wrong thing. I mean, I can hear people now saying things about Greg Hunt. Absolutely no coincidence that his name rhymes with cunt, by the way. Yeah. That's all. He created a black market, and everyone's like, what's his name, the new guy? I forgot.
Mark Butler.
Butler's going to make it worse. Rah! Well, of course he is. That was the fucking plan from the start. It's the whole thing. It's not even a clever plan. You create a black market, you make it worse. It becomes so bad that you have to ban everything. It's not even that clever. It's fucking. It's really obvious.
Transparent.
It's absolutely.
I'm having a hard time getting my head around their plan. I can understand Greg Hunt's plan of make it worse so the black market grows, so that we have reasons to ban things even more and be more fascist about this. I don't understand Mark's plan because it doesn't allow for. I mean, I have to assume that he is as naive as I feel he is. That he actually. I know. I hear you, and it's like I want to believe he's evil and horrible. No, but I've looked at him, and he doesn't seem like that.
You don't get in that position without being relatively intelligent.
Well, he's a solicitor, and Greg Hunt was a solicitor as well.
Exactly.
And
they're snakes.
The difference between a solicitor and a catfish is one's a scum-sucking bottom dweller, the other's a fish.
I mean, on the surface, it looks as though he's been misinformed by his cabinet.
Emily Banks and Simon Chapman are his advisors.
Yeah, but they're coming out with numbers that were released by tobacco companies to make it seem worse than it was, and the numbers aren't even true. They're not even close.
Exactly.
Well, the whole thing is, I want to actually talk about something Steve said.
Hold on one sec, because I was leading up to something just quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
I can't understand. I can't get my head around what the plan is and how they think that this is viable, because we know for a fact, us on the inside, seeing the patterns, seeing the behavior, understanding the behavior of vapors ourselves, we know that the black market is going to grow and grow and grow, that this is not going to affect it in any way. I don't understand how he can stand up and make very simplistic, blunt, very clear promises to the country. There is an issue with youth vaping. It's horrible. I'm going to stamp it out. It will be done under my watch. It will be over. We will win this war. How can you say that when what you're doing will inevitably, guaranteed, make it worse? What happens 2 years from now? What does Labor look like? What does his party and him look like when they have failed utterly and only made the situation worse?
Yeah.
My biggest hope is that they are as naive as they think they are, because then when that does happen, the next election comes along and liberals turn around and go, we need to win this election. Let's promise them that we'll fix that. Let's promise them we'll fix that. And we've got to, and this time we've got to come through. How do we fix it and actually succeed? Give them what they want. Proper regulation. Let's reopen the vape shops.
It's why it needs regulation. But what does annoy me is the narrative that they're using of kids vaping is the biggest issue out there. As much as it is bad, well, when we were young, it was kids smoking.
Oh yeah.
I just want to touch on their stats because Mark Butler in his address to the press club rolled out some stats in relation to youth vaping. Now, his stats. So, this is what they are saying. And the exact words he used are really important, because he said that 1 in 4 15 to 18-year-olds have vaped. Right? This is not are vaping. This is have vaped. So they've had one hit, whatever. It doesn't take into account those that have just tried it and gone, no. It is have vaped. Now, then he rolled on with 1 in 3 of these kids then go on to cigarettes. So
1 in
if you
4,
work those,
1 in 3 of the 1 in 4.
yes. So if you work those stats out, it is 4%. 4%. It is a very small amount, right? Now, it's not to say, and as Colin Mendelsohn has said countless times, the kids vaping is usually very transient, and it's a quite small number. But coupled with that, he said it was 1 in 6 for the 15 to 18 year olds, 1 in 4 for the 18 to 25 year olds have vaped. I'm sorry. So 1 in 4 young adults have made an adult decision. Totally fucking irrelevant. They're not fucking kids. They're 18 to 25.
Even 15 to 8, you could go back and for 15 to 18 year olds when I was 15 to 18, you could say 1 in 4 15 to 18 year old lads took a load of mushrooms, dropped an acid, and tried to have sex with a tree.
Yeah,
exactly.
I remember.
By the way, I wasn't one of
Good
the
times.
the percentage would be higher, but yeah.
I think it's probably actually 3 out of 4.
But like the whole thing is that they are playing the emotive card, look after the kids, and I am all for that. I am absolutely for that. But the stats they are rolling out are just bullshit numbers to make it look worse than it actually is.
Of course.
Which is par for the course. They did it in the United States. They're following that exact game plan here in Australia, except they're just going
Prohibition doesn't work. It's never fucking worked.
Well,
it's never worked.
Steve touched on a couple of things when he made a video earlier on in the week with what could be done instead of. And I was thinking about exactly the same thing. Do you know what you could have done to make it absolutely ironclad? No pre-filled devices enter Australia. Bang.
Yeah.
No e-liquid.
And police that.
Yeah. And no,
that's what they're not doing right now.
From overseas enters Australia, because what they are saying is that the e-liquid has 0 milligrams on it when it's actually got nick in it. So okay, stop the importation of e-liquid, send them to Australian e-liquid manufacturers who it is impossible for them to get enough nicotine to put in their product.
Yeah.
So those 2 measures alone would take care of the black market, take care of youth vaping, moral panic, and it would build the Australian businesses that have always been law abiding.
Yeah.
Simple 2 things. That's all they needed to do. And what they've done is they've gone, oh no, we're not going to do that.
Lazy.
We're going to go to the absolute extreme.
Lazy.
There was a survey done or a test done a few years ago. I believe it was the University of Queensland, but don't quote me on that. And the results from that keep getting brought back up. And they were actually mentioned a little bit in Butler's address. And this survey, what they did was they went out and they bought a bunch of e-liquid, and they came back and they tested each individual bottle for the presence of nicotine. And they came out with quite astounding, quite high range of bottles that had nicotine in it. Again, for the UK viewers, technically, according to the rules here, all e-liquids sold in the country must be 0 milligram or less, and you have to bring in your own from the outside world. So there should be nothing on the shelves in any store that has any nicotine in it. I can guarantee you that any Australian-made e-liquid is 100% nicotine free. I would also assume that any 0 milligram brought in from a larger company from overseas, again, I'll mention Anarchist or Dinner Lady or anything like that. Yeah, they're not going to just accidentally label it wrong. They're not even trying to slide by. My feeling is that what's happened is that they've gone and they've found the chop shops, they found the smokos, they found all the places that are black market people, the people that are skirting the law, not the actual industry, not real vape shops, but all the ones that are breaking the rules. They've chosen those ones specifically. They bought their little 15 or 30 ml bottles of illicit Chinese nicotine-bearing e-liquids, and they've tested them, and then they put out their response. Yeah, we went to 15 different vape shops, and we bought these, and 8 of 15 of them had nicotine in them, because
They pick their sources.
that suits the narrative. But what we see is that this gets repeated over and over and over. We went to a bunch of vape shops. They had nicotine on their shelves, and a lot of it was labeled 0. It's like, yeah, but those aren't the vape industry. Those are something else. And we agree. The vape industry has always agreed. Wipe those people out. They're not doing the right thing. Get rid of them. Proper enforcement of them. Let the proper vape industry, which is trying its hardest to do the right thing, let them survive.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching a lot of. Well, I watched a couple of Australian news programs on vaping, and then because I clear my history all the time, my feed on YouTube just came up with one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, which I've clicked on and watched and everything like that. And when Mark Buckler said that we've been duped by the tobacco companies, and then you watch every single news going vaping big tobacco, vaping big tobacco, vaping big tobacco, and the massive narrative all the way through, and then you're banning vaping, and you say you've been duped by big tobacco, and you're still allowing cigarettes.
Yep.
And
exactly.
you just think something's going on here.
Mark Butler is the health minister. He's also in charge of the aged. He has been very, very vocal as being anti-mining in this country. A lot of places where campaigns in the past where he stood up in support of not opening fresh new mines there, all that sort of stuff. I could care less. I only mentioned that because found it really interesting yesterday when I discovered that his wife is a very prominent person in a large company. She spent 1 year working for a large mining company in the country as the propaganda person, at the same time that he was saying he's against mining. But she works for a company that does informational pieces, informational media campaigns for private nonprofit companies and the government. The government is their main source, their main client. Those informational, educational things that come out about don't drink and drive, or if you're underage, make sure you've got a friend with you. All the sort of alcohol stuff. They do all of that. And I looked at it, and they've got this little tagline of what they do. And I looked at it and said, all of that could really be simplified to one word. You're a propaganda machine. And it just twigged in my mind when I looked at that. It's like, oh, but Mark just promised that in the budget, what was it, 100 million or more for educational stuff for youth, for vaping is going to be done over the next year or so. $100 million of government money is being funneled into educational propaganda for the youth. And your wife works for the main company that produces that for the government.
Yeah.
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 So you're creating a black market, and then you're getting your government to pay your wife's company to create advertisements for that, because we know that all that propaganda does it makes housewives angry.
It's all about
it makes 26-year-old big muscly guys want to go on and be keyboard warriors, but it makes teenagers want to go fucking vape. Oh, you say it's horrible and it's bad and it's going to kill me? Oh, that sounds awesome.
You've just made it illegal for kids. That's going to be cool.
I think the thing that they also haven't understood is that the Generation Z, and I have one of them over there, they're the most nihilistic generation of all time. Our world is fucked. Climate change is horrible. We want to fuck our buddies, but that's gay or that's trans or whatever, and the world hates us for it, and they just feel that the world is doomed. That's this whole apocalypse thing that we grew up under.
They're switched on. I mean, we didn't have this wealth of readily available information like they've got today. When we grew up, we didn't have the internet. They can find out anything they fucking want, and they are not stupid.
They're not stupid, and they see the patterns, and they know Our climate's fucked. We're going to run out of food. Things are going to get expensive. I'm never going to own a fucking house. I'm probably can barely afford to get a second car after my first one dies if I manage to get one. Everything is going to hell. Live for now. Live for now. Have some fun. Wear a skirt. Fuck your
buy lots
vape
of
a little bit.
Well, when my 14-year-old daughter comes home from school and says, "Oh, I hate this teacher," and I said, "Why?" And she says, "Because he lied to us about vaping, and I told him so." I went, "Yes, thank you." But just win. But in Mark Butler's speech, he touched on a couple other things. One of them was the calls to the Victorian Poison Centre in relation to nicotine poisoning. And he said the calls, over 50 calls to the Victorian Poison Centre in relation to nicotine poisoning. None of them fatal. I've got, well, there was one a while back, but in the last year, 50 calls. Do you know how many calls the Victorian Poison Centre took last year? 87,404. Right?
Yeah.
So 50 of them were in relation to nicotine. Like, there were 7,000 calls in there about fucking hand sanitizer.
And how many of the calls that relate to nicotine were as simple as, "Hey, I've just started vaping. I got 100 milligram here. What's the safest way to deal with this?"
Exactly. Oh, I got it on my hand.
I got some on my
Yeah,
hand. Is that
looking for
a problem?
genuine advice. Yeah.
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 Not
But
an
the
actual
other-
emergency.
The other touch point was that vapes contain, and I quote as best I remember, vapes contain over 200 chemicals, some of which are the same chemicals that are in weed killer. And you sit there going, yeah, but have you looked at that chemical? It's probably in fucking ice cream as well.
Yeah. It is.
Realistically.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was talking to the wife about
if it's
this
PG
yesterday.
than a fucking inhaler. It's like it's
PG is
inhaler.
in so many food substances. It's amazing, and non-food substances. I was talking to the wife the other day, and I said, "This is why the propaganda machine works, because people are fucking stupid, and they think that a thing is a thing."
Have you ever? Sorry, Steve. Have you ever followed a thread on TikTok?
I don't even go there.
No, well, Nevans is a bit of a TikTok god, and so some of his videos have been viewed like 1 million times. It's that bad. However, I find it so entertaining to watch the comments, because some of the people in there, it used to annoy me. Now it's the funniest thing I've ever read in my life.
It's ridiculous.
Why are you vaping when you can breathe air?
Hilarious! It's hilarious. My uncle got my popcorn lung. Oh, your uncle's the only person in the world to get popcorn lung from vaping. and you're not telling this story. Why are you not rich? It's like,
my dad's literally in hospital. My dad's literally in hospital. He's about to die.
Yeah, I've had popcorn lung 4 times. Have you? Really?
To put on my tinfoil hat for a second, there is an industry in the world that started probably about 2 seconds after the internet existed. It is an actual industry. It's not totally legal, but there are some skirt rules around it, where there are companies, and you say, "Hey, I've released a new deodorant, and can you promote my deodorant? Here's your list of things to do. Here's the people that we want," and they will hire people to pretend to be teenagers to promote it in comments on videos and in chats and stuff, or stuff like that. And they go out there. There are literally farms of people who just spend their time on the internet with a little script that they can copy from or rephrase or paraphrase to promote a product or an idea, to hype up a movie, to say this new movie's coming out and get everyone really excited. I think it's going to be awesome. They push that concept. It's not hard to imagine that the other side of what we're doing is doing the same thing. When you look at some of the comments that you get on any sort of advocacy related video on YouTube, and then you go click their names, it's like, "Oh, your account's been here for 4 years, and you have no likes, no videos, no profile picture, it's just a blank slate. It's like, do you exist?
In China, it's called the 1 cent army.
Yeah.
And there's a whole industry in China doing that, and that's the name. If you search on YouTube for the 1 cent army, you'll find out all about that kind of stuff. And it's been going for years and years and years and years, that kind of stuff.
And
But nowadays we've got the bots to do it.
Yeah.
No, the TikTok problem came from a certain individual called Andrew Tate. That's where the TikTok thing came from, because he was in a video. He's quite an influential person, and he was seen saying, "Stop vaping, smoke a cigar." Breathe air became his tagline, and all these kids look up to him. So now
they really look up to him, though, which is fucking weird. I mean, the guy, he mistreats women as a hobby.
Yeah. The problem is, though, that vaping hasn't got any massive influential people involved with it, as far as celebrities or whatever. Yeah, there are celebrities that vape, Samuel L. Jackson.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Samuel L. Jackson, both.
Yeah, but they don't advocate. So basically, they'll advocate for the bad side of it. They'll advocate to get it gone, and they'll fucking try and get it gone, basically just to have their print there.
Yeah,
but they won't.
I've been trying to get Joseph Gilgan on our show forever.
I've got a little experiment. If everybody thinks in the UK that we're safe and we're all right, launch incognito window, go to YouTube and just put the word vape in, and imagine you're a parent and come to a conclusion, because we all search for vaping and we get specialized vaping and everything like that. But if a parent is searching for the first time, they will get what you will get if you do an incognito search in YouTube, and your jaw will drop.
Yeah. I saw Mr. Intense just mention that cigarette smoke has about 200 times more dicetyl than vaping. It's actually closer to 700.
Yeah,
and aside from that, most juices now, because the vape industry consciously regulated itself, most juices, like 99%, do not contain any dicetyl at all.
Yet, the number that people seem to forget is the amount of people that have actually, even though it's got 700 times more dicetyl than any liquid, the amount of people that have got popcorn lung from smoking cigarettes is actually zero.
Yep.
Yeah. So the popcorn
and Avali, they brought up Avali, and of course failed to mention it was caused by vitamin E acetate. Just the information that he has been fed for his address to the press club was riddled with either lies or propaganda.
The interesting thing, sorry to cut you off, but the most interesting thing I found about everything he said was that it had all been said by him in the week before. Every little interview, every little soundbite, word for word. It wasn't paraphrased. It wasn't something he knows and he's sharing, and each time it comes out a little bit different. He was reading from a script on the podium. Yeah. It's the same script that he used 2 days before with the Herald. It was 2 days before that with the Guardian. When he was on a radio show, he was reading from the same script, word for word. This is kind of what led me to believe a little bit that this is what he's fed. Whether he's corrupt in it or naive, that's the whole debate. But this is information. This is the narrative he's been told to read. Just like the 1 Cent Army, they're given a script to copy and paste into things.
It's a numbers game. The fact of the matter is, but we're talking about what we know as the vape industry, which is a fucking minute number. We all know it's bullshit, but if he'll probably know, or the people that are around him will probably know. If he says it, the vast majority will believe it, because they're not us, and we're so small. We are tiny compared to the amount of number that will see it.
All the touch points he had in that speech were the same touch points that Greg Hunt used, number one. Cool. Number two, they are also exactly the same stuff that Professor Emily Banks and Simon Chapman have been spouting for the last 4 years.
Which are right.
So all of those points that he made are all exactly the same points. Even John Skerritt used exactly the same points in the Senate hearing when it was a couple of years back. You know,
and on sorry to interrupt, but on top of that, we've had a massive rise over the past 7 months, noticeable rise in anti-vaping propaganda in the media in terms of television, but mostly print and online articles that touched on those same exact points. Now, a few of them are a little bit more creative. They create little stories about it, but they keep coming back to the same bullshit lies, the same misrepresented half-truths or statistical anomalies. And it's been put out there time and time and again. And I've actually come to believe that this was a pre-thought out program. This was a plan that we'll spend 6 months getting the population primed. We'll throw some ideas into their head. They may or may not believe it, but if you see it often enough, it sticks in your head. And when the health minister gets up and says it, they go, "Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I remember reading about that a couple of weeks ago. Yes. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, kids everywhere. I mean, I'm not in a high school. I'm not around teenagers. I don't know how many of them are vaping in bathrooms. I can only rely on what the media tells me. They say it's a lot, but I don't know this way or that.
Fucking annoying because it really fucking. This is the one thing that fucking gets my goat more than anything else. Every single person in the world knows smoking kills you. Everybody knows that. So they have all this attention on vaping, and everyone's like, "Yeah, but what are you gonna do about smoking? Oh, we'll just make it more expensive." Be right.
Yeah, because smoking makes
the thing is, you know, like. They also and to a degree, I hate this particular thing too, is that they say, you know, vaping's 95% safer. I'm not a fan of that particular.
I'm bored of it actually,
because it is thrown out there so many times, and you know, their experts will just say no, they just came up with that out of thin air. But what is the actual fact? Is that yes, they admit that it is safer. And when it comes down to it, it doesn't fucking matter if it's 95% or 1%. It's still fucking safer.
But see, the narrative used to be, oh, it's too new. There's stuff in there we don't know. What if this is just like smoking and 20 years from now people die? We have to be cautious. That used to be the narrative. The narrative now is begrudgingly, yeah, okay, fine. It's some percentage safer. We don't know how much safer, but it's safer than smoking. But what we're actually concerned about is we're creating a new generation of nicotine addicts. I mean, kids are starting to vape and they're just not quitting. And you know, when the hammer drops and we take the vapes away from them, they're all going to go to cigarettes. I mean, yeah, this is just going to lead to smoking amongst kids. It's like it's ridiculous reach, but it is the shift in the narrative that they will admit a little bit that it's okay now, but at the same time, they're now using the kids even more than they ever did as the excuse.
Of course, they are.
And when you look at the smoking, when Pugs talked about the increase in the price of smoking, they do it in very small increments. So when you smoked 20 years ago, the packet was £5 or whatever it was, and they'll increase it to £6. And then the year later, it'll be £7. If you're smoking 40 a day or 60 a day or 20 a day, that extra pound or dollar or euro or whatever it is, wherever you're living, you're going to buy them. The extra like 10% increment they're going to add to the tax isn't going to disincentivize you to not buy the cigarettes. Yeah. If they double the price of cigarettes, you might go fuck this. This is crazy. Yeah. I'm not going to.
But even that, John, even that has a finite.
They purposely do small increments to keep you hooked, to keep you fucking smoking, because the income they're getting from tax from cigarettes is astronomical in every country.
Well, every time they raise the prices and the taxes, there's a little bit of attrition. There's a handful of people who stop. I said I'd stop when it hits this price. Eventually, there will be one person in the country rocking up to the servo. It's like, okay, here, $7 billion. Give me a pack.
Well, see, I mean, coupled with the vaping ban, like cigarettes over here increase at 7% excise per year. So the excise increases by 7% per year. Right. So over the next 3 years, he's tacked on another 5% to that.
Yeah.
So a packet of 30 cigarettes currently here is a roughly $50.
Fucking
Holy shit.
Right, $50, about 25
quid.
Use are fucking hardcore.
Jesus Christ.
So if you smoke, you're hardcore and you are giving up food in order to smoke. But
even 20 a day. 20 a day was that was a normal smoker-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. So to top that off, if you work, ballpark figures, $50. This year they'll go up by $6 to $56. Next year they'll go up to $61.50. Next year they'll go up to $68 or whatever.
Jesus, that's £175 a week. £175 a week on 20 cigarettes a day.
But the thing is, I would be behind that. In fact, I would even argue go higher. I would totally be behind that.
I agree with you, but give people an off ramp.
Yeah, if there was a properly regulated vape industry as the off ramp and it was promoted and not penalized, and you pump them up $10 every 6 months. With it, just go for it.
We'll play a little game. Guess who said this? I'm going to give you a quote. All right. The state must declare the child to be the most precious treasure of the people. As long as the government is perceived as working for the benefit of children, people will happily endure almost any curtailment of liberty and almost any deprivation. Who said that?
I would say Chairman Mao.
Hanky.
Adolf fucking Hitler.
We were close.
like I hate quoting him, but fuck me, is that their gameplay?
The thing is, I mean, we all know, just getting off on a side tangent here, but we know that after World War II, America scooped up all of the German scientists. No matter what they'd done, they wiped out their records, they changed their names, they hid them. This is the basis of the space race and the rocket program, was all the work that was done. People who had designed the bombs that went over London were the same people that were instrumental in designing Apollo and all that sort of stuff. We know that that's a fact. What we rarely ever mention is the fact that there were massive reams of material about research and concept in propaganda that the German might had created and perfected, and the American side went, I'll have that. Let's use it. Let's just use, and they took it up wholesale. I mean, the CIA was a big part of it, but weirdly enough, it infiltrated into the advertising and marketing game. And yeah, we're seeing the results of that constantly, daily. Propaganda is a massive machine, and it's used to manipulate public consent. If you can convince people, we see this in our thing, but we see it everywhere. If you can convince people that the children are in danger, regardless of how stupid the arguments are, people will give up.
You know what the children aren't in danger of? The proper haul of vape gear.
Okay, we'll do that. There is one last thing I'd like to say, actually, and it's something that not everybody, I don't think everybody knows, but everybody realizes that Prohibition gave birth to the Italian crime families that we know today, the mafia. That's where all that came from, which slaughtered millions of people. So It doesn't fucking work. It's never worked ever, and they're doing it again, and it's just going to cause a bigger black market.
My segue was better to the proper.
You're going to have Sesame Street guys on the corner of streets going.
We're going to get this segment in.
Anyway,
go for it, John. Go for it. We'll shut up. Off you go.
Let's do some. Let's do this.
So last week was the first run of this, and it went really well in chat because chat just went fucking crazy for it because they're a very knowledgeable bunch. So this is the Proper Hall of Vape Gear. So the first inductee into the Proper Hall of Vape Gear was the Kennedy Vindicator. And we on the wheel that we're going to spin, Pugs is going to do a wheel. For anyone that didn't see this last week, Pugs spins a wheel. It's going to land on either mods, RTA, RDA. e-liquid or accessories, and the panel will pick their favorite of that section. And then we will run a poll in chat and see what is going to go into the proper hall of vape gear. Take it away, Pugs.
I've shared. It's up to you now. Is it sharing?
Take it away, Pugs. another seamless, smooth transition.
Look at that.
You guys
You
are so professional.
All right, so today's let's make it bigger and let's just do that. Oh, okay.
Accessories.
Oh, that's the one that none of us wanted, but we got it anyway.
You put that on the fucking wheel.
Well, do you know, it's a curveball. It's a curveball.
Will we let our guests go first? So we need to split this up into two separate polls because I can only put in 4, I think, is it?
Yeah,
So
we're going to have to do two really quick polls. And then whichever ones wins the first 2 polls, we'll put them into a final one, and we'll run that for like 10 minutes in the background. So
we
Legion,
just pick the best accessory that
your favorite accessory you've ever used in vape.
Yeah, your
Hall
of Fame accessory.
This. I don't know what it's called.
Well, I need to know what it's called because I have to go in a poll.
It's a coil.
Coil jig.
Coil jig. I don't know who invented the first one. That's before my time. But most impactful, most important.
Never use it.
Screwdrivers, fine.
Are we just going to put generic, or are we going to put like Coil Master or something? Doesn't matter. Does it?
I would just put coil jig.
Doesn't matter. Coil jig.
John, Paul's waiting to come in.
Oh.
The dirty cocksucking.
Oh, there's a tab thing. Okay, right. There you go.
Northern Earthworm Jim looking.
There we go. Welcome
in.
in.
There he is. He shaved his beard off and everything.
Fucking hell, what's going on here?
No, he really looks like a worm.
Hey,
all right, I'll go with mine.
You look ill.
How are you, mate?
I'm not ill. There's a lot of light. There's a lot of light, to be fair.
You look about 10 years younger.
I can't help it.
Go off them. Shut up, Paul.
Use them.
Are we going to put the coily tool in, the original?
Yeah.
Original. Yeah.
Because that makes building so much easier for newbies.
Yeah. I've never used it.
Yeah, but you're not a newbie.
That's not true. I have used one. But I don't reach. I've got probably a drawer full of the ones that you used to get free with things.
Do you just measure the legs with your fingers?
It was a massive innovation when it came out.
Yeah, it was.
And it was such a good idea, simply because it made shit simpler for people. I mean, I always used to just cut to the shoulder of my fucking coil jig.
Yeah, it was
or put it in and cut it. But that, I think, is one of those.
It's a good option, definitely. Yeah. I don't know how we pick. Nevans, go Nevans. We'll randomly do it.
I'm going to go for the drip tip.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
It's an accessory.
Is it though?
Well, what else is it?
I think you need to be more specific because every RDA and RTA comes with some sort of a drip tip.
Yeah, but you always change the drip tip out, so it becomes an accessory.
He's actually right. He is actually right.
Okay.
A matchy drip tip.
Yeah, drip tip. It's an accessory, isn't it?
All right. So I go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go.
You're doing my choice, you bastard. I know, yeah.
I'm going to go with, even though I don't use it as much as I used to, I'm going to go with Cotton Bacon Prime.
Oh, you're not good. Cotton Bacon. So you're specifically Cotton Bacon Prime.
I'm specifically saying Cotton Bacon Prime. It was one of the most widely used. I use Sliver more now, but it's too new to put in the Hall of Vape. I think Cotton Bacon Prime deserves to be in the Hall of Vape because it was a very, very, very good cotton, and it was used by a lot of people. And I can still go back to it.
We're going to run this for like 2 minutes. So get your fucking votes in quick because we need to get this done quick. So coil jig, coily tool, a drip tip, and cotton bacon prime, and then the rest, the other 4 guys are gonna throw in options. Boom.
So are we going to do the second one straight away?
We'll give that 2 minutes. We close that. We'll close that after 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll do a second one, and then we'll do a final.
There's
And
no
we'll just
reason
let
why-
that run till the end of the show. Then
Can you do 2 polls at once?
no,
No.
no, unfortunately,
And
not.
you can only have 4 options, I think, too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
But there's lots of accessories that have changed vaping over the years, you know, like coil measuring tools, shit like that, safety stuff. So, you know, you sort of go, where do you stop an accessory? When does an accessory become actually part of your vaping? It's part of your rig, you know, like.
Yeah.
I would sort of probably say that drip tip and cotton are probably part of your rig.
Nevans.
Mr. Glastonbury down there, Michael Aegis, is just sticking fingers up at people.
Bearing in mind, if there's no drip tips, you got no drip tip on your RTA or RDA.
Stop it, Evans.
I'm allowed
As far as tools go, I can't do without that. I have 2 of them, and I use them all the time. All the time.
yeah.
Every single build
Every
I
single
do.
time.
Every single
build
build I
is
do.
that.
Is that one of those
Oh,
staggered?
it's something that you use all the time.
All the time.
Okay.
Why are you
Got
saying
it.
that?
Well, that's a coil jig, mate.
So
Yeah, but it's not the coil jig that Steve was saying.
Still
Coiling
coil
rod.
jig.
Is it though?
It's not a jig though; it's a rod.
It's not exactly. It's
Oh,
not a
coil
jig. It's
rod,
not a jig.
coil
It's
rod.
not a jig
Like,
because there's nothing to passing in.
I
do.
do
Fight for it.
double-ended ones. Because
Do
those.
you know what? Every single person that I see that uses one of these always has a bent fucking end like that.
Yeah,
Always.
Every single one.
Push coil legs in.
That's what she said.
Always use mine. Always.
I use mine to put it in the airflow. If it's stuck on the mod, put it in the airflow and turn it.
That's why they bend.
I use it to get potatoes on the
Bending, that's why I went and bought some fancy no double
No,
ended.
I've got the coil jigs that Steve just said. I've got probably 3 sets of those.
Well, we've had 35 votes so far, and coil jig is slightly ahead of coily tool. Slightly.
Oh, I'm losing look. Again. I lose every
Question
week.
for everybody: can anybody remember who came up with the original twisty coily jigs? Who originally brought that out?
Coil master? No.
Was it
Nope.
not
It's
Coil
David
Master?
Coil
Coil master or
Master's
jig
done
vape.
Nope. It was
I
Kuro
don't know.
Concept.
No one's going
Kuro
to
Concepts brought them out.
Kuro concept.
Originally, they were the first company to come out with that. And
No one's
everyone
gonna-
just jumped on the bandwagon.
Still never used it.
That's
They
the
were-
thing
they
we
were useful back in the day.
Well, it worked better with round wire, which isn't as
Yeah,
popular.
they only
Yeah,
work with
true.
round wire.
Yeah, we're going to
For
see a
anyone,
big
I know a lot of
resurgence
people
around
wondering
right
in
here.
chat, I hand wrap all my coils.
I was quite confident with cotton bacon. Look at it. Measly.
You're not very good at this, Colin. are you?
No, man.
I'm going to give
it's
it 1
cotton
minute.
talk again, isn't it?
It's right in between on the jig and the tool.
We're tied for fucking. Yeah.
I'm surprised no one's mentioned snapbacks and Dixons.
Wait. There's still a second poll.
We have still a second poll. Then. Right.
We're going to have to
We'll
wait
give,
now.
We'll give it 60 seconds and then
Exactly
wherever we
37%
are.
on coil jig and coil tool.
If it's there, I might throw the 2 of them into the final poll, will I? Coil jig and coily tool. I'll throw them with the winner or the other. One.
Somebody that hasn't voted needs to vote.
Yeah, 'cause the other two options were pretty shit, weren't they?
If it's a tie, they can go. They can both go in. We've got room for
Right, the both of them will go into the final. So coil jig and coily tool will go into the end.
I should have just
the
said
end.
cotton. Shouldn't I just said cotton. I should have just
Right,
said cotton.
right. Who have we left? Netreality, Graham, the lovely Graham Miller. What is your favorite accessory of all time?
Okay. Kitchen roll, toilet paper, all those blue rolls.
Kitchen roll.
Kitchen roll, toilet paper, all the blue rolls.
Right,
Anything to soak up e-liquid.
This is the e-liquid mixer.
Micro-
Anything that soaks up e-liquid.
A towel. Towel.
Anything which soaks up e-liquid. That's the
That's
easiest.
the edge of my shirt.
Absorbent.
Yeah.
The Steampugs sock.
I'm optimistic about winning this one.
You don't want that fuck.
You're just talking about ass hairs. They absorb shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hiya, I'm here.
Who put him in the corner? That's me
baby.
in the corner.
That's boring, to be fair.
That's me.
Baby put me in the corner. Graham, it's a week, and I'm going to get all 42 of you.
How's the treatment coming on, Paul?
Wow, topical.
Yeah, right.
Who have we got left? Hanky.
Yeah.
Hanky.
Right, mine is
Hanky. Muji Cotton. Oh,
Muji Cotton, and I have been using that for my last bills for many weeks now because I ran out of
very
laces. And I
affordable.
just
Very
thought,
affordable.
If
I
that
just
wins, I'm
thought-
going to be seriously pissed off if that
open
wins.
it up, and off you go. Absolutely brilliant. And they work well. It works well with them coils from Ireland.
I'm going to be fuming if that wins.
Just want to say a quick disclaimer that all coils bought on Proper Coils website come with a strip of Muji Cotton. Matt, wait.
What I'm going to go for the burning tab.
The what? 521.
Burning tab or a home reader that you can heat your coils on.
Specific.
What Legion Vapes? What would you
tab.
call that in your neck of the woods?
The 521 tab. will
Build
do.
tab. Build tab. Yeah,
Build
521
tab.
tab was the clone.
Build tab. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my second choice.
Much
yeah.
better than Graham's.
The build tab.
I should have gone with that. Fucking
Originally bought out by the Friday morning, and it was called the Burning Tab.
Yeah, but no one knows that. Say something people know.
Right, Blumpkin, I'm going to
Hobbyists
give up
do.
my option and give you an option just because I'm that nice.
I appreciate you stepping down.
That's the type of host I am.
Can
I
I-
give up my options?
Can I just quickly say, Blumpkin, it's an accessory to do with vaping, right? You all right with that?
Yeah.
Do you know what we're talking about?
No sexual instruments. Or,
Yeah.
It has to be vape related.
I'm fully aware, and I'm also going to win this poll for anyone that's intellectual and understands what the fuck they are doing.
This here, no, this.
Nope,
You get
nope,
to say
nope,
sweets.
nope,
Really,
nope,
really?
no, 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 no.
That was going to be mine.
Scotwood
No,
billboard.
listen, you've all fucked up, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if you vape anything that is even remotely worth vaping, at some point in your life, you are going to need some squape bands.
What the fuck are they?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I have no idea what they are.
Proper
What are
name
they?
is whip
I
grip.
have you loot in your tank. They are fucking really handy, actually. Yeah.
What are they?
Oh, for
Squape-
loosening the tank. Yeah, I've never used that.
Yeah,
I never heard of them.
Oh, I got 3 seconds to talk. You all talk.
Me.
Shut up, you scout twat. Right. Squape grips. Squape grips. If you don't own any, fucking get some.
Right, the poll is up. Get
Real
voted.
Okay.
Are they
Yeah,
all right?
Paul, what are they used for?
Wanking. Get a good grip.
No, what are they actually? I had never even heard of those.
Loosening lids.
If your tank's stuck, you wrap it round and
It gives you
find
grip.
So like a tea towel,
Like a wet tea towel.
Like a
like
kitchen
a wet tea
towel.
towel,
Like a
except
kitchen
you have to spend money on them.
Marigold, like a marigold.
I've survived for 10 years vaping without using one. So
well, that's because you're silly and you'll spend a long time. fucking around.
my arms are powerful enough to do it without using one of them. Just saying.
I doubt it. I've seen you twiggle it. What tool? Okay,
Yeah, right.
listen.
Yeah, right.
There are many tools that you should have, right? Very similar, Woftam.
Yep.
This little spiky fucking get out tool. Similar thing.
Yep.
Similar thing.
I'm really disappointed. I'm losing.
Muji Cotton.
And everybody here knows they use kitchen rolls. or
I'm
something
going with the
for
Bill
really-
on that one.
how is Muji Cotton winning? It's shit.
Do you know
How
what I mean?
many
How
times have
how
you
can
bought a
Muji
bottle of
Cotton-
vape juice? You poured it on your
Why did
your
Muji
RDA,
Cotton-
your mod, or anything like that. It's stripped down the side. What do
I
you
love
do?
I love how emotional people get
No
about those
wanking.
things.
These
Fuck.
are wanking.
42% for Muji Cotton and fucking
It's so
cotton
funny.
bacon
Why,
prime.
why,
Nothing
why,
for kitchen
why,
roll.
why do you think Muji Cotton shit, Matt?
It just
It tastes like
just
arse.
doesn't- Yeah, it tastes like arse for the first tank. But to be fair, Pugs, I would
As
use
long
Muji
as I
over
be Paul.
Bacon Prime.
I just
What?
want to say for all you Australian
Muji over
politicians
Cotton
watching,
Bacon Prime.
Nobody gets
Slipper,
this
right?
excited about cigarette accessories. All right, nobody does.
And we're all
I was-
adults.
Vape accessories, we get excited.
There's not enough people using Sliver, and there should be.
Remember when we all smoked and we used to get online and talk about it all the time?
Yeah, wasn't that fun? And we used to go on forums and talk about everything.
Plumpkin, what's wrong with that? Why don't you just get some of that?
Because
Is that mesh?
no.
Is that mesh from a pair of knickers?
Yeah.
No, that's-
Well, I'm going to lose. I hope you all over drip and just like go, oh, I'm not going to touch kitchen roll anymore. I'm just going to pick my mod up and get juice all over my hand.
I love how emotional you are.
And
about
Graham 37 has entered the building.
Graham,
It's probably the sixth
yeah,
outing he's had,
yeah,
just
Graham, I can see after the show, mate, there'll be
Graham,
1,000 YouTube music videos posted, mate, because you'll be so upset.
I'm going to close that poll. I'm going to close that poll. Muji Cotton.
According to Matt Polly, music cotton is the best.
Muji Cotton won that best.
Oh, he did
Right.
correct himself. Sorry.
Right, the final poll. The final poll.
I hope you all have juice hands.
Suck a dick with
Excuse me. The final poll has gone to bed. She's
Final
already
poll
gone.
is Muji Cotton.
Closky's gone to bed.
Muji
Paul,
Cotton. Coily.
can I make a request?
Coily
Can
too.
you put them squeak bands on your eyebrows just for content?
I'm sick and tired of giving you cunts content. You can fuck off.
Right, so the final poll is about to go up. Muji Cotton, Coily Tool, or Coil
Oh,
Jig.
fuck you, Matt Poley.
Get voting.
Polly, not Polly, you fucking racist. These are all shit options. It's got to be the jig. You can live without a coily and you can get different cotton to move.
Yeah, well, I don't use any of those. So
fuck off.
Just,
How do you put your coil in?
I'm going to vape for the
I do
only.
what?
How do you put a coil in a tank? You use a
We
jig,
usually
right?
finish at 11:30.
No,
It's
it's not
not,
a jig.
that's not
Don't
going to
use a
happen
jig.
tonight.
No,
Just,
Use that. That's not a
so
jig.
everyone know.
The twiddly
It's
thing.
a coiling rod. That's what they mean.
That's
a
a
jig.
rod. It's not a jig. Is
Yeah,
something
but
where
they
you pass one side on. That's a jig. That's not
No,
a
they
jig.
mean a jig. This
No,
is
don't. He means he showed it. It's the jig.
Steve, can you show Paul the twiddly thing?
That's a jig.
you put it,
That's
it's
not a
all-
rod.
Oh,
Wire
you can.
goes through and
Right,
you
I'll tell you what.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. All three of those can get in the fucking bin.
101.
Yeah, they're actually
looking good
they're
for the
actually
win
a
here,
very
Hanky.
good bit.
You're looking good.
It's so simple.
You see, everyone's going to vote Muji now anyway, just to piss off Paul. Because that's the name of the
I
game.
actually voted for the call.
Listen, I've turned up here. I've turned up. I've been abused. I've had half a bottle of vodka. I'm not standing for it. You can all get fucked, right? I don't know what you've been whinging and whining about. I don't know what you've been going on about. I really don't know. But I'm here now. I got abused, and you can suck a dick, all of you, especially cooks.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
We only let you into abuse.
I've voted
Paul,
for you.
Plumpkin. Me?
I've voted for Coily Tool because it's the only one that I've actually used out of those three.
What was Hanky saying?
I've got to agree.
I was just
with
saying.
Scott
You said everybody go and suck a dick. Fuck you all. What about me? Don't class me with the rest of these.
Oh no, Hanky, you are better than that. You can suck 2 dicks. Get the fuck in, son.
Right, so fucking Muji Cotton, you bunch of heathens, you've got no clue.
They're probably using it properly, Pugs, not like you.
Shut the fuck up. I was using Muji Cotton when I was fucking
I
9.
haven't used Muji cotton, I think, since about 2015.
Well, it was the first cotton I used. Well, that was 11 years ago.
Yeah,
Do you remember being introduced to?
I use Muji.
You know the sliver cotton. It's not silver. It's sliver. You know that one.
I like sliver cotton. That's my favourite cotton.
Do you remember being introduced to that?
Oh, here he is again, taking credit for everything.
I told you so, dickhead.
Whopper cotton.
Right, people. There you go. Muji Cotton is the first entry into the proper holiday.
Never known somebody so desperate for just
notoriety. Notoriety is the word.
Mr. Hanky, congratulations.
Look in the mirror.
Boom.
You can't.
Well done, well done.
I need more vodka. Sorry.
Right, we're over time, but who cares? Are we doing this giveaway?
Yes, sorry, but I've got a picture up ready to go.
We're going to do the giveaway, then we're going to go through the questions.
This is the best caption. Wait a minute. Just for clarity, is this a best caption competition? And Hanky has chosen the picture.
Yeah,
I've chosen the picture, and I'm going to get Mr.
this picture beforehand, so
I'm taking my glasses
Legion.
off, so I can't see it.
Mr. Legion, you can have the final guess. You can say whose the best comment is.
Ooh.
So let's go. Here comes the share screen.
I can't wait to see this picture.
Don't take the fucking piss. Are you ready?
Go for it. Go for it. Ah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You had a cock coming out of a train door that last week, so I've just gone a little bit stiffer.
Why did I have to be on it, you bellend?
Oh, shit. I had everybody on there. I had Nevans there. No, that's mine. Matt, that's mine. But I just took them all off and I've kept you on there because I love you. Fuck you. Best caption, Legion is going to say which one is the best.
When he says that's mine, that means that's his for the taking.
Yes, because can you imagine somebody as small as Pugs having one that big? He'd fall over, wouldn't he?
It'd be like it'd been painted on it.
I put you on the head.
It'd be like a transparent film over it.
So,
Legion, just let us know none of the panelists can win.
3 centimeters long and it drags on the ground as it is.
Right, go on, Legion. Keep your eye on the comments. Pick your favourite.
And this is for 2 sets of coils, and I've used other coils before, and I love
Butler Memorial. Yes,
I love.
Oh, nice.
Coils. So get on.
Unfortunately, you can only win these coils if you're in the UK.
Well, we should say that's me. Shut up.
The rest of the Easter Island heads.
You can win these coils if you're anywhere in Europe.
Oh, is it Europe as well?
Australia, Canada, and
Kate Mason.
Basically
just
anywhere apart from America.
Highway.
Proper Coils ships everywhere apart from the US.
Kate Mason just said just visited the Chocolate Highway.
Ooh.
But their eyes shoot to the stars. That's quite good.
They're dirty, them pair, aren't they?
That's shocking, aren't they? I'm personally shocked.
Go on, ladies.
Matt Polly said it means that Pugs is also dense on top.
From the top to the bottom.
Absolute bastard. I wouldn't want to meet the dog that dropped that. But, what do you think is wrong with this, Doctor? Matt Polly. Fuck the rock cock. His pigs plugs a Thunderbird puppet.
Just
saying. It doesn't even make sense.
It's like what Woftam said earlier.
Just look at the photo. You look on that photograph like you could very well be a Thunderbird puppet. You've got
he's Joe's puppet.
The big head, the big glasses, the big nose. That is insane.
It's insanely reaching. It's not even a bit reaching. It's massively reaching. It's a shit joke.
You have to massively reach to that big.
You're not a comedian.
Pugs. Woftam was spot on earlier. He said, "You go, fucking hell, bro."
I don't even know what that means. You're all talking bollocks.
The more reaction you get from someone hanging shit on you, the more likely you are to hang shit on them.
You tell him, Woftam. You tell him.
It's all for entertainment, Woftam. It's all for entertainment.
The thing is that you would genuinely claim that was yours. You dildo.
Are you trying to say that I'm narcissistic, or?
And I'm not trying. I'm accurately saying it.
Well, fair enough. It probably is about the same size. I'm just saying it.
It is correct.
Joe's watching on her phone right now, going, "If fucking only."
Yeah. Joe's watching our picture now, saying, "Why the fuck are you showing a picture of your dick on the screen?"
Just to be fair about this, proportionally, your cock probably does look that big because your head is that small.
Actually, the head's genuinely fucking massive. My legs, however.
Yeah, you are a busy man. You're a Ken Dodd guy, right?
Yeah. I only have, where you bend in the knee. I don't have that. have one little portion of leg. It's just
Mr. Legion, have you seen any good ones yet?
Oh yeah. There's a few, but I've already chosen the winner.
Right.
I'll wrap it up then. Wrap it up.
I absolutely know who's winning.
Who is it?
That's
Who is
Joe
it?
telling me what the fuck you talking about your dick for.
There was some very funny entries. Some were reaching, some were a little weird. But I'm gonna have to go with Paul Hinchcliffe because his Pug's a Thunderbird puppet. Not because it's funny, not because it makes sense, not because he actually looks like one, but just because it would piss Pugs off for that to win. So that's
you're all bastards.
Legion, can we
And
pick
do you know
someone
what's even worse? The fact that he's not actually part of this show, so he can actually win it.
Oh,
Yes, suck my dick.
He's a part of the show.
No, not at
So,
all.
Paul, you can pivot.
I'm going to pivot to me.
Okay. Good on
Pick
you.
it to me to make up for all
Hanky
your
on share
abuse.
there.
Yeah, I've unshared it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well done,
Congratulations,
Mr.
Paul, well done.
Blumpkin.
Yes.
Boom.
Thank you.
Yes, well done.
Thank you.
Who are you gonna give it to, Paul?
I'd like to thank Pugs because he is the cause and problem and potentially the solution to everyone's problem. All in one.
I am the solution to everyone's problem. You're quite right.
I wish I recorded
Well,
last night.
half of them.
I wish I recorded last night where Pugs was really loving you up. I should have recorded that.
Do you know?
I feel special and wanted. Thank you.
For anyone that wasn't there, I mean, I felt kind of bad, right? I felt kind of cringy because everyone that I spoke to last night told me how lovely I was. I was like,
everybody.
No,
One person.
there wasn't just one, Graham. Listen, if all 42 of you were
No,
there, one of you would have
actually,
heard it.
I specifically remember bigging Paul up.
Yeah.
Legion sitting there going, I
Why
don't
on
see
earth would you do that?
Also,
I
Aiden.
don't see that.
Aiden had a lot of love for you.
He grows
I
on
was
you
drunk,
like
I was
a
drunk
like a
and
wart.
horny. I was drunk and horny.
I do grow on people, much like genital warts. I do get hold of it.
I was going to say that.
Right, guys,
Well-
we're going to swiftly move into the questions before we wrap it up. So we've got a list of questions.
I'm on my last
Oh,
one.
look at that!
mate.
See,
If they get to Australia, they don't get to the USA.
Boom. Right, so I'm gonna have a question the same question for the guys. We'll go Legion first. So, who is your hall pass?
We're not allowed that in our relationship. That's against
But
the rules.
it's hypothetical.
But if there was, it would be Drew Barrymore.
Wow, a retro Paul pass.
I can understand that.
Well,
She
personally, at
looks
the moment,
dirty.
my hall pass is anything with a heartbeat because current situation, but it has always been Charlize Theron.
But just for clarity, the kangaroos have stopped hanging around in Woftam's backyard.
Oh no, they're still there. There's bloody hundreds of them out there now.
Oh, most
I presume not the one where she.
Can I ask the extra question?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Can I ask the extra question?
Eileen Warnos, yeah, for sure.
And
mate.
why?
That.
I'm going to do the extra question.
Go on.
Extra question. And why are they your hall pass?
Because she's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Okay, just to
What he said.
I thought it was going to be like, she looks like your missus. No?
I thought it would be she looks like you Mrs. Best Mate.
God, if I was going with that, I'd have to go with the witch out of fucking Wizard of Oz.
Question number 2. In a movie about you, who would play you? Or who would you like to play you?
When I was
Miyagi.
Tom
When I-
Thumb for Pugs.
Wax on, wax off. Woftam, wax on, wax off.
It's Mr. Miyagi for Woftam, 100%.
When I was younger, I would have probably chosen someone handsome and hot and talented. This person is none of those things, but I can't think of anyone that could play me other than Zach Galifianakis. He's a big hairy fucker, and
That's a very good shout.
yeah.
Yes.
I would have to go with can I pick a director as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino and Harvey Keitel.
Yeah. That's good. I see that one.
Yeah, that's never going to work.
We're gonna get a bit more aggressive here for question 3. If you could fight one person, who would it be?
Oh,
Mark Butler.
That was too fucking easy, wasn't it?
We knew that.
Well, see, I'll go in the same vein, but I'll actually say Simon Chapman because he's the one telling Mark Butler what to say.
I really thought you were going to say Pippa. Sorry.
Nah.
Hashtag drama. Oh yeah, this might be an interesting one. Question 4. They're all interesting questions, by the way. But question 4: worst thing ever said about you online?
I'm glad that question wasn't asked.
Wow, that's a new one.
That's a long list of things to choose from. Honestly,
I'm taking
the
some
video
of
I
your
did
comments
recently.
on your YouTube channel. Yeah.
Which one hurt you the most?
The comment that I got recently, I did a video addressing the issue. It's picked up. There's been all eyes on it, and it has attracted some of the antis. And there was a guy there that popped in and said that I didn't give a shit about my health or public health or anything. I was just in it for the money and my channel. And I know it sounds like a silly thing, but that fucking hurt because I put in years and time, and I maybe, but I've made no money at doing this. This is a loss. This is a loss constantly, and this is all I do. So my wife supports this, which is amazing, and she's awesome. But that I would put in that much time and effort, and that I would be that emotional about something that I didn't care about would be heartbreaking. Yeah. So yeah, that one.
Wow, I only do this for the fame and the fortune to sign people's naked boobs.
I've never really bothered with what people have said about me online. I really couldn't give a fuck, to be quite honest. So
it's probably a good job well done, to be fair.
But the question isn't whether you care. The question is, what was the worst thing that was ever said?
Well, I've never had it. Well, a certain person in Australia has mentioned at some stage that I sold nicotine to customers, which I did not and have never. Okay. That's really pissed me off immensely. But
they also said that you gaslighted them.
Yeah. But when it comes down to it, like for someone's statement to actually hurt me, I must first give a fuck about their opinion.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, you sort of sit there and go, if you do enough YouTube, and I haven't been on YouTube consistently for a long time, if you do enough, someone's going to say something, and you just got to let it go.
Yeah,
I've heard someone say that recently. The same thing you said. You have to give a fuck what people think before you.
You could just say the amount of times I've called you a cunt live, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, it is quite a lot, but I appreciate your opinion,
mate. Amongst present company, the term "cunt" is a term of endearment.
It is. Yeah. It wasn't though. It wasn't when I said it. Just
I don't know. I mean, unless
you're a horrible, narcissistic little bastard.
If you're further south than Birmingham, you're a proper cunt. That's not just a cunt. That's a proper cunt.
Proper cunt.
So I'd take pride in that.
Good question.
Well, you would, because you're narcissistic.
We'll go. The last question is my usual last question, and it's where we get even more sensitive.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Tell us about a time or something that happened yet that was a negative in your life, but turned out to be a positive.
Ooh.
I already know what Steve's going to say.
Do you?
I think so.
I think I do as well.
At the time, it seemed bad.
I've heard the story of when you. Oh, I got it wrong.
Yeah, shut up.
Well, let's see if it's the same story. I got married in Canada to a woman, head over heels, absolutely in love. Ended up having 3 kids with her. It was fairly intense, fairly volatile. Anytime you've ever seen 2 absolutely insane people that should not be together, button heads and trying to make it work, That was us. The last 5 years of it was just mental and physical torture in every way. It came down to we were broken up, still legally married, living in the same house, separate rooms, with her boyfriend, with one thin shared wall, not happy whatsoever. And then I got a text message, a Facebook message from someone that I used to date years and years before. And within a month, I was back in Australia and have been here with her ever since. And my life has turned around and everything is better and I'm happy. And I have a partner who is a partner and supports me and I support them. True equals, all that sort of stuff. If it hadn't fallen apart and if I hadn't been in such a desperate state at that point, I wouldn't have been free. If she contacted me while I was in the middle of it, I wouldn't have been in the mental state to rekindle what was so life-changing. So that's my story. Is that the one you were thinking of, Paul?
I know it's actually I got it wrong. It's the other way around. If it was a positive that turned into a negative, it's when you went and got on that plane, and then you flew to wherever, and then you flew straight back to your ex, which was the worst.
The one I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's a whole different one. See, here's the thing. Led by my dick. Every time.
Aren't we all?
Mine, I'm hoping that the situation with divorce that I'm going through at the moment, I'm hoping that will turn out to be a positive. At the moment, it's not so much because it's still in the process. But probably the biggest life change negative, and I don't want to give too much information here, but when I was at work in a particular profession, which I'm not going to mention, I got stabbed and then left that profession and opened my own computer business.
Was it
which turned out to be incredibly lucrative?
Literally stabbed or just...
Yeah, no, stabbed. Like I was stabbed 4 times, so yeah.
Ooh.
Stabbed in the back.
and it was in the course of my work. So it was time to leave that particular job at that stage.
Oh my God, he was a policeman. Just fucking say
He was
it.
Like, he's a policeman or he's a prison officer?
Hang on, I'm off. See you later.
Nice questions there. Can I just ask them one question each, please?
Go ahead, Hanky. Go ahead.
Woftam.
Yeah,
Would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
Oh.
Elephant trunk. Useful.
Yeah. Right. And one for Legion. I've been watching those your videos. I've never really spoke to you, but I love you. Right. What is your favourite sleeping position? So when I do have a kit later, I can sleep in that position with your photo that I took 150 dumps on this show tonight of you. They're everywhere. But no, what is your favourite sleeping position?
My favorite sleeping position.
Doggy.
I habitually sleep in the same position every single night and have for years. I sleep in the Superman flying position, which annoys the shit out of my wife. Exactly. One arm up to the chest, one leg up, one leg out straight. I'm soaring. The pillow is in between here, which means that this hand is just at the top of the bed and slightly under my wife's pillow. And I twitch. I twitch in my sleep. My fingers twitch. They hit the pillow. They hit the back of the bed. They wake her up. It fucking annoys the shit out of her. She wants me to stop. She's been at me for 10 years to do it. But I can't sleep any other way.
I'm exactly the same. And the pillow is only
she
there.
your Lewis Lane?
That hand going numb.
Sorry?
Is your wife your Lewis Lane?
She is. She is.
Good. Thank you, gentlemen.
I sleep like this.
Yeah, but Pugs, you and Joe have a single. You have a single bed. When you're spread out on your bed, there's still enough room for Joe and someone else.
I kind of walked into that, didn't I?
Right, guys, we're gonna start to wrap this up. Who's doing the Zoom tonight, or who's doing the after show? Zoom?
I can take care of it. Bear
Matt,
with me.
yeah. You want to stick the link in chat? We're gonna
Come on, join us. We'll be going for a good week.
Before we do the outro stuff and say our thanks and goodbyes and stuff. Legion and Woftam, is there anything that you'd suggest that could do any sort of help at all to use over in Australia to the guys here in the UK? Whether it's posting on forums or posting on YouTube channels or signing petitions, or what do you think can help, or any suggestions for the guys?
Send us all a bunch of stuff before it's too late.
At this stage, it's really hard to say because we don't even know the exact text of what's happening. So far we've got general words which can be interpreted in different ways. Whether when he says vapes, he's talking about pre-filled vapes or vapes, as we know them. Because he's uneducated, he hasn't clarified. So, at this stage, no one really knows. I guess we're going to know better on Tuesday because I think that's when it's. And realistically, I don't want to sound like really negative, but I think it's a fait accompli at this stage. I think it's set and it's done. The next things that we've got to do is basically future-proof ourselves, and then civil disobedience is going to be really the only thing left to us. If I'm going to probably lose my house, so if I go to jail, at least I'll have a roof and 3 squares.
I think like a purge type situation. The film Purge. I think maybe that could help.
Legion, how is it going to affect your channel going forward?
Oh, that's a big one. My career as a reviewer, if everything falls the way that we expect it to, is over. Because I will not be able to access new product legally within the country. I'm actually thinking that it's not a case where everyone else has to wait that 6 months to see when this is enacted. For me, it kind of starts now because I know that the social media companies and the social media managers at all the companies are watching. They're seeing the news, and they're going to look at it and go, well, why bother sending something to him? That it's over there. So I don't expect to get a great deal of new product coming in from this point on.
You can still crack on with the panel show, though.
Yeah, the panel show is still going to continue. My Thursday streams will still continue and be what they are. There is another factor that affects things. There is, aside from all of this, there is a new tobacco strategy that is being released, and it's got some fairly intense details when it comes to influencers, which unfortunately we fall under. What we can do, can say, can show, what we need to do to protect ourselves. And that concerns me in a different way. So my channel will still exist. I will still advocate. I will still put out informational and news stuff as much as possible. I will continue to review products as they come in as much as I'm able to until they say I can't anymore. But in order to, as I said before, I've never made any money at this. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars invested and years of my time doing this, which I don't regret. Because the amount of people that have come back and said, hey, I quit smoking. I went online. I found a channel. You were there. You helped me out. I don't take credit for it, but I'm glad to have been a part of that journey. So I don't regret it in any way. But there is that thing of like, if this is all taken away, what do I do now? So I had plans for a secondary channel that I was going to do where I had various things in mind that would be able to be monetized and actually do that. It wouldn't take away from this or my channel. I've revised those plans and I'm actually going to fold it into the channel as it exists. So actually, as of yesterday, I'm no longer Legion Vapes. It's Legion's Lair. All the social media was shifted. All the names were changed to somewhat protect myself from some of the social media rules. And I will be doing some non-vape related content gradually. It's not a full pivot. The vape stuff stays as much as I can, but other stuff gets added into. Sorry?
You're going to start talking about Jesus.
Super guy.
Yeah, I'm not going quite that far. Not going quite that far. It's something that I've been very, very nervous about. I've got numbers, I've got viewers, I've got regulars, and I've never wanted to piss them off. And I kind of get annoyed when a channel that I really like about cameras starts talking about one wheels or
I was
bikes or
going to
whatever.
say, I was actually going to say, is it something tech related that you're going to do, or is it because
Camera
you're
mics as
you're
well.
like I'm in Ireland and I asked around about I've done some pre-recorded coil tutorials, how to build a fuse Claptons, and I was asking some of the guys in the UK what's a good down low camera for a reasonable price that isn't going to break the bank, and like a few people said to me, contact Legion Vapes. He knows the stuff about cameras.
Awesome.
But no, that's what I was going to say. Is it a technology? Are you going to push towards that sort of thing?
It's going to be, the new content is going to be at least 50% creator based. So whether it is music, art, filmmaking, photography, editing, that sort of stuff, it is somewhat of an oversaturated field, but I think that I can do a slightly different take on it, the same way I did with vaping, and keep it funny and interesting, but still informative. The other side of it will be some geeky, weirdly stuff, like just reviews of odd stuff that I find, mostly some sort of techie, but less of the content creation side of things.
Have you considered Legion Coffee and just doing the coffee? Just in the you do the coffee thing in the morning. Why not promote coffees in that morning? Different coffees.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the coffee is a constant theme through everything I do. It used to be every single video. Oh, you asked, actually, let's go back. Can I re-answer a question? You asked what the most offensive thing people asked. It used to be, I was really, really nervous. I have a rule, one take, wonder. That's that I have to do things live, no script, nothing written in front of me. I don't have a teleprompter, genuine, authentic, me talking. And so the way I do that is I just hit play or hit record and I just go. And I used to be a little bit nervous when I started. So I'd always have my cup of coffee and I would take my sip of coffee, put it down, welcome to the channel. It was just a routine. It was a little sort of mental tick that made things work. And I used to get all these little comments of people going, yeah, I don't know why you fake drinking a coffee every day. It's like, no, it's a real coffee. I drink 20 a day. If I have to do a take 20 times, I have to refill the cup a bunch of times because I'm fucking drinking.
What is your favorite coffee, Stanley? What is your favorite coffee?
Sumatra. Doesn't matter who makes it. Sumatra. It's dark. It's rich. It's earthy. It's a big mouthfeel.
Jamaican Blue Mountain for me. I love it.
It's a bit too thin for me though. I wouldn't go
Graham, medical bud vaping, not a thing over here. Illegal as well.
Butthole. We've got a butthole and we've got no bumper.
You want a butthole? You want a butthole?
I'm just gonna have to show my butthole. Sorry.
Give me a sec. I gotta set myself up. There we go.
Hey,
oh, that's the wrong one.
That's a buffet.
That's the wrong one. Where's my buttholes?
Oh, where's
my buttholes at? Oh, that's the other page.
Where's my butthole?
When it comes down to it, Legion couldn't find his butthole in a live show.
There we go. No. This is my streaming software. That's set up for the AVS. So
you really can't find your butthole. So
no, they're lost.
Right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to Legion and Woftam. Very welcome on. It was great. Thanks to chat as always. It was booming all night, and the proper live Hall of Vape. What do we call this? The proper Hall of Vape seems to be a bit of a winner. So we're going to keep doing that every week. And well done to Hanky on winning the Muji, getting the Muji in.
But guys, can I just say something?
Go ahead, Woftam. Go ahead.
To advocacy, I know you guys don't need it, and I know you guys get bored with it, and it's easy to do because, mate, I am tired of having to do it. But I'm sure over the next couple of months, weeks, Legion will have stuff on his channel with call to arms and stuff like that. If you are not in Australia and it's possible to actually help us out, we would super duper appreciate it.
Do you know, for a second there, I actually thought you were going to say big kudos to Pugs and Nevs.
Oh yeah, no. Well, kudos for you guys for not falling asleep because it's happened in the past.
It was actually a really good, interesting conversation. It was really good. It was really interesting. It was very,
That's
very
the idea.
good.
We've all seen it going on. We've all seen it.
It was nice because it was both of you speaking.
We're hearing it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah,
no, I know
not
you guys.
in a scripted video from your genuine opinions live.
Excuse me, you can't say that now, can you? Because Woftam said he don't want to be a horse. He's having an elephant trunk.
Yeah.
Oops.
I know you guys over there
That's
have.
he can suck himself off.
Try that again. I know you guys have things fairly well in that country, and you are raised up as the leader when it comes to this. In most of the world, you're the shining example. I would just like to put this thought into your head. Keep vigilant, even though you guys have things fine and there are shops everywhere. Keep vigilant because things can spin really, really fast.
The rug can be pulled at any fucking minute.
Exactly. And the issue is that for us here, we got very, very concerned about the prescription issue. We didn't notice the black market growing until it was too late. And by that point, the groundwork had already been laid for them to pull this away from us. And the same thing's happening to you guys. You do have an issue with disposables. You do have an issue with corner stores and youth uptake, and it is slowly creeping in there. Be aware of it. Do what you can to fight it, or at least let people know that that's not real vaping or the real vape industry, so that it can be somewhat ameliorated.
And people forget about the domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It already looks like New Zealand may be taking up what we're doing here.
You've got to also watch out for AI, Graham. That AI is going to fuck you up.
You're really loud.
Fuck AI.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You shaved your beard.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
why would you shave your beard when you know Legion and Woftam's coming on? You should have.
He felt threatened.
That's exactly what he's like, though. He stopped wearing.
It's offensive. I find that offensive that you actually.
He stopped wearing Dixons because Simon started.
Two guys are coming on.
He found out that Woftam and Steve were coming on, so he shaved his fucking beard off. Is exactly what he's like.
I want to be different.
It makes him more.
It's different. I get bored really easily. Right?
Yeah, but Paul, we know Graham's got a big cock, so don't you go chopping yours off. Right,
I feel like we're all running into it like an after show conversation.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to wrap this up.
If you want to come and join us in the after show.
Come and join us in the after show, yeah. So if anyone in the chat wants to jump in, feel very, very free to jump into the after show. We're going to be going for the next
10 minutes,
couple of hours at least. Again, thanks to the guys for coming on. Awesome guests, super guests. The expo, we haven't mentioned the expo the whole time. We're over 2 hours. So we mentioned the expo once. We're all going to the expo.
We're not going to be here next week. We're not going to be here.
We're not going to be live next week because we are going to be
earlier than others.
At 12 o'clock on a Friday night next week, very, very drunk. So we're not going to be doing a show. But if you're in the expo, make sure you just give us a shout, say hello, ask Paul for his autograph. He does sign boobies, apparently.
I want to sign boobies.
Yeah, Pugs wants to sign boobies. And
I've never signed boobies. It's just, I feel like I've landed when I've signed
tomorrow
boobies.
we have the lovely, the guys have the lovely Birdman on, and we're going to talk a bit more about the Australian situation, and we're going to talk about mechs, I'm sure, and whatever else over the Saturday show. I'm also guesting, so make sure you tune in at 8:30. The lovely Mr. Lord Blumkin is on at 7, is it? 7:30, 7 tomorrow evening.
Whenever I get there, I don't even know.
7 tomorrow evening with Craig. I think Kenny's taking a week's break and Blumkin's.
No, there's
Craig's out.
There's dramas.
Craig's out.
Kenny.
Yeah, he's out.
Right, I didn't know this. Anyway, so
Kenny what?
He'll explain all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock tomorrow evening on Craig and Kenny's channel, or Craig and Paul's channel, whatever it's called. We'll find out tomorrow. Monday we have the late night vape show. Thursday we have the UK vape show. Wednesdays we have the e-liquid mixing show. Make sure you tune into that. Am I forgetting any channels? Am I forgetting any shows? I probably am. I'm sure I am.
Have you got Mix?
The Laid Back Vape Show. Make sure you tune it on Mondays.
Yeah, you got Mickey loves late night vape
Mix
show
on
Monday
Mix
night.
on Mondays at 9. Yeah, I think that's all.
You got all the good ones.
3 Men the Vape Show. 3 Men the Vape Show at
Like
8:30 on the Wednesday. Yeah. So look, if it's our expo, make sure you say hello. The stall number 11 and the home zone is the Proper Coil stall. Make sure you come over and say hello.
And my stall at the bar.
And Graham is going to be at the bar. Pugs is going to be
at the bar. Nevans going to be at the bar.
At the bar.
Matt's going to be at the bar. Hanky's going
to go to the bar.
Going to be at the bar.
I won't be at the bar. I'll be at the bump cats.
Yeah. Okay.
After the bar. Proper Coils is going to have a hose pipe going from the bar into his stall.
Yeah, with some Guinness.
And we're going to put something in there.
Right, we're going to wrap this up. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks for watching, and bye.
Bye.
Ciao.